Hello there and welcome to the preview for Midtjylland versus Liverpool, and we get an early kickoff for once. This is going to be so great. It's going to be so different. I can go to bed at a reasonable time before I have to get up at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. There's positives everywhere. A good fulfilling sleep and enjoying hopefully a good decent game of football as well. Now, let me know who you think is going to start in this game as well, because that is probably the most difficult part of knowing what's going to happen in this game ahead of the game tonight anyway. I'm excited because I think we're going to see a lot of different players get a good chance and a lot of other young players as well. Some young players, maybe some fringe players, and maybe the one or two experienced first team player in there. I don't know. We don't know. What I'm going to put forward to you is just what I'm thinking. I'll try and explain why for some of them as well. But otherwise, I think we can just go ahead and be excited about what's going to happen tonight. Whether we win, lose, or draw, it doesn't actually matter. And it's so nice to be in this position. It really is. And I'm not taking the mick out of Manchester United or anything like that. I never want to be in that position at the end of a group stage where you have to win or you have to draw. You cannot lose or anything like that. And I think we have been in that situation before where we go down to the last game. We pull it off. I'll never forget Liverpool, I should say, Alisson's save against Napoli. I think Salah scored in that game to win it 1-0. But Napoli late on, hell of a save by Alisson. I'll never forget that, because that goal goes in by Napoli and we go into the Europa League. I'll never forget it. So it's really, really nice to be able to come into this game and not have to worry about whether we win, lose or draw or anything like that. Nothing takes us out of top spot, and it affords us the ability to be able to put out a completely different lineup than we would normally put out. We don't have to. If we wanted to, we could go full youth team players. If we wanted to, we could do that, and that's absolutely perfectly fine. I'd be happy with it. It's totally cool. But we don't have to go out there and win it, and that's pretty fantastic. Let's be honest, it really is. And then we've got Fulham at the weekend as well, so we can certainly make some changes there as well. It affords some valuable rest for our first team players and the younger players that have also played for us, during this time of injuries as well. So I think we've got some great options that can come in, and I'm going to go through them right now. Some of you might look at this and be like, what are you doing? I will explain why I want to do it. But for this one, I'm putting Adrian in goal. Now, before you kick off, Adrian goes in goal for this one because there's no consequences, and that's such a bad thing to say about Adrian and having to maybe rely on the fact that there's no consequences for him to get game time. But it's just a pure fact of where I'm at with Adrian. I like the guy, I like the person, so, and as a player last season, did really well for us, the Super Cup and coming in for when Alisson was injured at the start of the season, and we did well. We were on the winning streak, everything was good, it was rosy, it was totally fine. Seems to have dropped off a lot, and my confidence in Adrian has dropped off a lot along with it. That's not to say he can't come in and do a good job, but he would be one of the experienced heads I'd bring in for this game because of the youth players or the younger players that are going to be in front of him as well. Also, it means that, Kelleher had excellent games in the Champions League, in his Champions League debut, and a Premier League debut, clean sheets in both. We don't know if we're going to need him in for Fulham, but he's a young lad. Maybe don't want to sort of risk going down the road we have with Alisson, where he comes back from an injury and he's back out with an injury. I'm not saying that Kelleher would get injured, but seeing as he's the man of the moment right now that everyone's looking at, we're like, wow, man, look at our new number 2. Fantastic. We don't want him going down with an injury or anything like that. We want to keep him, playing games, but games that matter. And games that matter are in the Premier League right now until the Champions League starts back up again later on, I think, into next year, February, something like that, or whenever it is. So that's my reasoning for putting Adrian in. Let me know if you would change that. Now we go into the fullback areas, and for me it's Nico Williams and Tsimikas. Tsimikas will get another opportunity to prove what he can do. He's still a very young player as well. Did well when he was playing for Olympiacos. He's a lot more I think used to playing as a wing back, as a part of a three at the back and having actual wing backs as well. But he'll adjust to Liverpool. He will adjust, and to be honest, he'll have to adjust if he wants to stay around the Liverpool team. And become a useful player for us. I think he will be a useful player for us. I think he really will. His attacking runs are excellent. The only area for me that he has to improve is defensively and getting back and attacking their attackers on the way back as well. That's what he needs to improve on. Nico Williams has had a brilliant week in my opinion. Really turned a corner after apparently a long conversation with Jurgen Klopp. About how much better that he can be and the confidence that Klopp has in him as well. It's very good to see. And he had a great week on the back of it as well. So I'm happy with Nico Williams and I really want to see him continue because I see Trent starting against Fulham. That's my opinion anyway. The centre-back pairing for me, Reece Williams, 100%. Absolutely 100%. Every time he's played, you don't get anything less than 100% commitment and I like it. It's fantastic. He's a fantastic young player as well, without putting too much pressure on him either. But he looks brilliant, looks very calm, collected, and I like seeing him play. I want to see him play as much as he can as well. Next to him could be the younger player in Billy Koumetio, who really caught everyone's eye in pre-season, especially Jurgen Klopp's as well. And he'll get a chance. I think he got substituted quite early on in a youth game at the weekend. And that pointed to Koumetio being included. I think he's travelled with the squad as well. So Koumetio would also partner Reece Williams, and we'll get to see a very young centre-back partnership as well in there. Now, we're going to move on into the midfield. Jake Kane and Leighton Clarkson would come in and possibly partner Curtis Jones, maybe somebody else. Depending on who's actually going to be fit, could actually see someone else. I don't know if Oxlade-Chamberlain... I don't think Oxlade-Chamberlain's near fitness. I don't think he actually travelled with the squad anyway, but he's getting there, so he won't be available. Maybe we could actually see Jake Kane, Leighton Clarkson and Naby Keita getting some minutes in the Champions League. Him coming back from injury as well. But the two young lads really catch the eye for Jurgen Klopp. Now, I'll be honest with you, Jake Kane and Leighton Clarkson, I don't know a great deal about them, but what they do is they contribute very well in terms of goals and assists. That is what I know on a basic level, but we get to learn about these guys when they play in the Champions League. They play against FC Midtjylland. Then we move into the forward line, and if anything, I would say we'll see more like fringe players rather than youth players. Probably see Minamino, Divock Origi will get a chance, especially after Jurgen Klopp's comments about not being included in the Premier League squad, which basically to me pointed towards him saying, I've got that many forwards at the moment, that many forwards that are ahead of Origi in terms of form, it's difficult for me to include him in Premier League squads because it would need someone to drop out of form for Origi to come in and get his chance. So Origi will probably get his chance here in the Champions League, leading the line. Minamino either in behind or on the left-hand side, and possibly Firmino. I'm not sure if he would use someone else ahead of Fulham at the weekend, which could see Mane, Jota and Salah, because I don't see any of those guys or any of the regular first teamers that we have right now. I don't really see any of them being involved in the Champions League game. We could see a lot more youth players as well that could make up the bench, and obviously seeing as we can make 5 substitutions in the Champions League, let's make total full advantage of that and do what we can, get all of these lads minutes and stuff like that. Because I think I was talking about this to another Liverpool fan when I was at work yesterday, and I think the big positive, which is a weird sentence to say, but the big positive about these injuries that we've had is that all these young players, maybe some fringe players as well, but the young players that have really stepped up, took the opportunities that they've had that they wouldn't have got if, Van Dijk is injured, Joe Gomez is injured, Trent Alexander-Arnold got injured as well, Curtis Jones coming into midfield and stuff like that as well. These guys don't necessarily get these chances that they've had, but now when everyone starts to come back and all our injuries start to come back as well, our squad depth has already improved because these young guys have had so much experience in high pressure situations, like Reece Williams coming into a Champions League group where when he came in, we weren't anywhere near securing the bag for the Champions League group or winning the group or anything like that. And he came in, did really well. Likes of Nat Phillips in the Premier League comes in and he has man of the match performances pretty much every time he's played. Fantastic, absolutely brilliant to see. We could see great things from the likes of Kumetio. Simicas has still got to do well. Nico Williams has done well after a little bit of a difficult time as well. Jake Kane, Leighton Clarkson, we haven't seen them in the first team yet, but we will get to see them. I truly believe we will get to see them and we'll be able to make our own judgments, but even more than that is learn about these players, and these players will learn about playing in the Liverpool system. Curtis Jones has done absolutely fantastically. These guys will have got experience that they can't get from training or playing in their youth setup, in their age bracket. They will have experiences that they will not have been able to get, and it makes us so much stronger that if something does happen injury-wise, it makes us go, instead of going, crap, we're absolutely screwed, we can go, okay, we can turn to this guy, we can turn to this lad over here. We've got options and we've got quality and we can use it straight from the academy. It's fantastic. And this is everything that I wanted when people talk about, going out and splashing big cash and all this lot in the transfer window. I would much prefer that we don't splash big cash all over the place, and we maybe spend a little bit of money here, a little bit of money here, but we also then go into the youth academy and give these guys chances, give these guys options. It's great to see. Maybe some of these opportunities have been forced because of the injuries that we've had, but it's been fantastic and really refreshing to see these guys and experience them, and they've done so well at stepping up for us as well. Coming up against FC Midtjylland, it could be a difficult game. It was a difficult game first time we played them, and we won 2-0 as well, but it wasn't an easy game. It was a game where we were struggling with pressure. They were putting pressure on us, and make no mistake, there's a good chance that we could concede a couple of goals here or there. That's fine. That's totally fine. If we're playing a completely different 11 to what we would normally do, then we go out there, we watch the game pretty much free of any pressure, any stress. There's nothing that we need to worry about. We don't need to worry about our top spot in the Champions League. We don't need to worry about having to score boatloads of goals, keep a clean sheet and all this lot. We don't need to worry about that. It's a completely free hit for everybody that goes on that pitch tonight. And I say tonight because I'm recording this at 2 a.m. before I go to work. I completely forgot to record it last night. I fell asleep. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the game purely on the fact that we're going to see so many youngsters playing. That could be and could make up the future of this club as well when some players either move on or whatever happens in a couple of years or so. So, in terms of a score prediction, not that there's really any use in putting a score prediction on this one, I'm going to go for 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw. I think that Midtjylland will come out. They'll probably play as starting 11 as much as they can. I don't know how important it is for these guys. I don't think that they can't go through. I think it's between Atalanta and Ajax, who one of them's on 8 points, one of them's on 7 points. It literally goes down to the last game of the group stage for those guys. I think Midtjylland are pretty much they're done. So they'll look at it as a free hit as well. They could change their lineup, or they could go first team lineup and just absolutely try and smash us. We will see what happens, but I'm going for 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw, and I think it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. I'm so glad it's an early kickoff as well. I was like, are we ever going to get an early kickoff? Never. We're never going to get an early kickoff whenever it happens, but it has happened. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys are as well. Listen, do take care of yourselves. Hope that you have a great day ahead before this match as well. Hope you have a good time watching the match as well. I will try and get a review out straight after the match, but straight afterwards I'll be going to bed, so it's going to be tight. We will see what happens anyway. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Please do feel free to get your comments down in the comment section below and let me know who you think is going to be starting and how we could even line up, maybe even formation-wise. Let me know it in the comments below. Thank you once again. Do take care, and I'll catch you later.